On housing and community opportunity will come to order. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the ranking member, Ms. Judy Biggert, and each of the members of the Subcommittee on Housing and Community Opportunity for joining me for today's hearing on the Flood Insurance Reform and Modernization Act of 2007, H.R. 1682. I would like to start by noting, without objection, where's Mr. Ruben Hinojosa? He's on his way. We will allow he and Mr. Gene Taylor to be considered members of the subcommittee for the duration of this hearing. The opening statements of the members of the committee. I would like to introduce our first witness. His name is Mr. Edward L. Connor, the Deputy Assistant Administrator for Insurance, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Mr. Connor, thank you for appearing before the subcommittee today. And without objection, your written statement will be made a part of the record. You will now be recognized for a 5-minute summary of your testimony.
Connor, Deputy Assistant Administrator for Insurance for the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and I certainly do appreciate the opportunity to appear today before this subcommittee to discuss the National Flood Insurance Program. But we must continue to strengthen the program by 1, protecting the program's integrity, 2, increasing NFIP participation, 3, improving citizens' understanding of flood risk, and 4, reducing risk with proven mitigation practices. We should enhance these principles by eliminating discounts on pre-firm structures, strengthening mandatory purchase requirements, increasing the annual limitation on premium increases, and improving the data on flood maps. My written testimony offers details and suggestions along with particulars on program enhancements related to the 2004 Reform Act, and I look forward to considering these matters with you.
Chairperson Waters, Ranking Member Biggert, members of the subcommittee. My name is Mark Davey, and I'm President and CEO of Wheatfield National Insurance Company. Wheatfield National is a write-your-own flood insurance partner with the National Flood Insurance Program. We are the largest writer of flood insurance, facilitating the purchase and servicing of approximately 1 out of every 5 policies sold through the program. Wheatfield National is also a member of the Property and Casualty Insurers Association of America, a trade association representing over 1,000 insurers. PCI member companies represent more than 40% of all property and casualty insurance underwritten in the United States. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. Legislation reforming the program should provide additional federal funds to expedite completion of the MAP modernization initiative. The program should expand the mandatory purchase requirement to include additional properties at risk, in addition to those properties currently defined as residing in special flood hazard areas. FEMA should modify its disaster assistance procedures to ensure that those with flood insurance who are seeking disaster assistance are prioritized ahead of those seeking who have elected not to purchase flood insurance. The program should encourage lenders to establish facilities for escrowing flood insurance premiums outside special flood hazard areas. The program should continue to provide those educational materials and resources such as those provided by floodsmart.gov. We are pleased to see that the majority of these reforms are addressed, at least in some way, in H.R. 1682, being discussed by this subcommittee. We commend the chair and the members of this subcommittee for holding this hearing and to move this program forward. It has been mentioned in the past, but it should be reinforced. The National Flood Insurance Program provides important catastrophic protection for our nation's property owners. While it needs reform and modernization, we are encouraged by the direction of this legislation. We stand ready and willing to work with Chairperson Waters, Ranking Member Biggert, this subcommittee, and Congress to refine and obtain passage of this bill during the 110th Congress. Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Chairwoman Waters, Ranking Member Biggert, and members of the subcommittee. My name is Tom Winkler, and I'm pleased to be here today on behalf of the Independent Insurance Agents and Brokers in America to present our association's perspective on efforts to reform the National Flood Insurance Program. I'm the president of the Clark Mortensen Agency, headquartered in Keene, New Hampshire, a regional insurance agency with 8 locations and 55 employees in New Hampshire and Vermont. I also serve as the chairman of IIABA's Government Affairs Committee. As the sales force of the NFIP and the conduits between the program, the companies, and the consumers, IIABA is uniquely positioned to see the vast benefits that the NFIP provides to people and places that have been hit by a natural disaster. The increase in NFIP's borrowing authority has been an important issue for independent insurance agents and brokers. Despite the 3 borrowing authority increases passed by the 109th Congress, the NFIP likely will not have enough funds to pay all outstanding claims without another increase. The increase of borrowing authority to $21.5 billion, as proposed by this legislation, is vital to ensure the continued payout of promised monies to consumers, and the IIABA applauds the committee for its efforts to ensure that the U.S. government delivers on its promise. Additionally, we ask that the committee consider whether it may be appropriate to eliminate the incurred NFIP debt resulting from Hurricane Katrina. It's estimated the NFIP will need to pay as much as $900 million a year to the U.S. Treasury in interest payments alone, which represents nearly half of the annual premium. The long-term survival of this program may require Congress to consider eliminating this debt and the resulting interest payments. In conclusion, the IIABA firmly believes that the Flood Insurance Reform Modernization Act of 2007 is critical towards ensuring long-term stability of NFIP and toward making it more actuarially sound to the benefit of consumers and taxpayers. In particular, we strongly support your efforts to increase the maximum coverage limits and to provide the optional coverages of business interruption insurance and additional living expenses. I thank the committee for giving me the opportunity to express the views of the IIABA.
Final witness will be Mr. Vince Malta.
Thank you, Chairwoman Waters, Ranking Member Biggert, and members of the subcommittee for the invitation to present the views of the National Association of Realtors on H.R. 1682. My name is Vince Malta. I'm a realtor from San Francisco, California, where I'm the owner of Malta & Company. Our firm handles real property sales and manages over 300 residential rental units. I was the 2006 president of the California Association of Realtors, and I currently serve as vice chair of NAR's Public Policy Coordinating Reforms to the National Flood Insurance Program. The National